Welcome to Sports Connection. I'm your host, the one and only Joey Railroads. I'm here with my buddy Ryan Ennis. Ryan, how are you, man?
I'm chilling, man. How are you?
Good. Trying to get used to the no fall weather where we went from like summer to like winter.
Yeah. Um, it's been pretty sudden over here.
I know, that's what I don't like.
Yeah, it's been pretty freaking sudden, so.
It's going to be like 32 in the morning here the next few mornings.
See, typically I don't mind that when I have time to get used to it. Like, I still don't even think that's that cold when we have days that go down below zero.
I guess it was just because we went from like 90 to like 40.
Yeah.
And it's just like a big shock to your system.
No, I agree.
Especially when, you know, we're old and beat up like we are.
No, you're right. Everything starts hurting a lot more.
Oh, dude, my side where I had my surgery on has been fucking killing me for like 2 weeks.
Huh. Well, not to laugh at you. Trust me, I know what that means.
Oh, no, it's all good, dude. And my mom's like, well, why don't you take Tylenol? I was like, I don't want to like be this person that has to live off of fucking like ibuprofen or Tylenol, you know?
No, I understand, but sometimes it's just completely helpful. You know, I mean, it helps a lot. You know, I mean,
yeah.
But if you can live, you know, but if you can tough it out, then I'm all for that.
Yeah, I tease my mom because she'll always say like Tylenol this or that. I'm like, I was like, I should like email them or send them like a tweet and have you be like their spokesperson. Lance is messing with us in the chat. He says, the old man show. LOL. Come on, you're not even 40 yet.
And we can't even complain about the cold weather because he's up in Canada, so.
That's very true. What I always joke, I was to my mom too, not to keep bringing her up, but I'll be like, if I feel like this now, what am I going to feel like in like 10 or 20 years? And she's like, oh, you'll be good because you felt bad now, then you'll get like a good run. I was like, well, you're being nice, but that ain't going to fucking happen.
Yeah, no, I don't like thinking about that far in the future.
I don't either.
A little off topic. My wife has me fucking hooked on this awful show on Bravo. It's about fucking people who work on like charter yachts.
I thought you were gonna tell me it's that show on Discovery Channel called Boat Repo.
No, this is like just like super rich people who rent out this one boat, but it follows like the whole crew during like the season. And it's awful because I want to dropkick most of these rich people right off the boat. But it's like, why am I so into this? It's like about like the drama of people who work on a fucking charter yacht. They don't even go nowhere. They go into like the ocean, like a couple miles. Like it's like a floating hotel. Like I thought it was like, oh, they're gonna go somewhere nice. They're already somewhere nice, and they stay 2 nights on the fucking boat, and then the tip is like $30,000.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, bro. Working on a yacht is very, very lucrative, apparently.
Well, I missed my calling in life then. Good God, $30,000 just to do that?
I mean, that's split amongst like the crew, but that's for like 2, 3, 4 days worth of work. If that's just the tip, can you imagine what it costs to rent out that boat?
I can't even imagine.
And they look like some of these people just look like normal people. And it's like, here, him and his buddies own a restaurant. And like, here they are blowing like $70,000 on a weekend. Like, what kind of fucking restaurant do you own? You could blow $70,000 on a weekend.
Must be nice.
Yeah, right? But yeah, completely off topic, but that's what I've been doing the last week. That's why I haven't been following as much wrestling.
You've been doing that and playing Red Dead Redemption, too.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Because I message Lance every so often, and I'll be like, how far have you got in percentage in the game? And he messaged me the other maybe the other day. It might have been a week ago. And he's like, I thought it was like the final mission in the story. And he's like, I completed it. And then I like paused it to see like where I was at in the, percentage of the storyline. He was like, only 35%.
Oh, I'm so early into the game. I'm doing all like the side stuff. Like there's collectibles, there's dinosaur bones. There's a ton of shit. So that's what I've been doing. I got like a pagan mask helmet now. All this weird shit. Yeah, I just like exploring. There's so much to explore. I've been fucking attacked by bears. It's a great experience. I was fucking tackled by a moose.
Tackled by a moose?
Yeah, I'm trying to hunt a bear, and out of nowhere, like what you would pick is like a Canadian moose with a full rack, just speared me, full on charged me. I know because I went flying, and I went flying down the mountain. But yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Gore. But yeah, there's like 158 species of animal in this game, bro.
Holy crap. It reminds me, I was playing, I'm going to take you back, the original Oregon Trail the other day.
Did you die of dysentery?
Yes.
Everybody dies of dysentery. You get dysentery. You get dysentery.
like the Oprah meme.
Exactly.
You get one. You get one. Oh, man, that's funny. All right, before we get rolling, let's see here. Don't forget to check out our social media stuff. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram is all at ASC Pods. Don't forget to check out our entire catalog on B Plus Player Radio. It's at B Plus at B Plus Radio on Twitter. And don't forget to follow and check out our sponsors over at Too Sweet Magazine. You can find them on Twitter at 2TOO Sweet Mag. All right, now that I screwed that one up, hey, Dean's in the chat hanging out too. He's getting ready for his big game tonight with the Steelers.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh shit! Today's Thursday. Oh fuck! I gotta look at my fantasy. Man, with these Thursday fucking games, man.
I always check it on like Thursday morning, but see, I do football and then I do basketball and hockey, so I gotta like check them every day. So I'm used to doing it now.
No, I'm good.
So if I don't, I gotta fucking update and shit like that.
Yeah, okay. I had to make sure that Juju and Greg Golston were in, but I'm good.
Wow, Dean said that the SmackDown attendance was confirmed 5,000 in the UK on Tuesday.
Oof.
I remember he sent me a photo of the arena, and like a bunch of it was tarped off. And I asked him, I can't remember, he'd be able to tell me the name of the place they were at. I think he said it holds like 15,000, I want to say. So that's not so hot.
Yeah, no, that's not really hot at all.
He said he's saying not one venue sold out on the UK tour.
It's not good. That really should be a sign that things aren't working.
That and like I was telling Dean privately the other day, I said, you guys got some amazing independent, like your own guys and girls over there that are killing it. And you know, when you go from watching that to like WWE, it's a lot of people don't want to pay to see it. I mean, not trying to be negative, but you get what I mean.
No, I know exactly what you mean.
But yeah, that's got to be a big like wake up call, man.
I mean, a lot of it has it has to go beyond like what's been happening recently, because usually these tickets go on sale far in the future if they didn't sell out when they first went in sale. Um, I don't think it's as much of what's happening currently with Brock Lesnar winning, because keep in mind, like Brock Lesnar won, and the Raw was like two days later, so it's like they had ample time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like I'm sure the tickets didn't go on sale anywhere near Crown Jewel, so they've probably long been on sale. You know what I mean?
Totally. And they probably go ahead. They go on sale probably 6 months ahead of time, I would think.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if it's that far, but yes, months ahead of time.
Oh yeah, I would say like 3 to 6 months, somewhere in there.
So I just think that it's an indication. Like I think it's going to be worse going forward.
I
don't
agree.
think it's getting any better.
Basically, what Dean's saying in the chat is that the UK fans are fed up of paying $40 for WWE when they can go pay $10 and have a great time at a local show.
$40, Jesus, mate. We can't get into a show in Brooklyn for under 150.
When I went to Raw that couple years ago, I got in for like 15-20 bucks.
In Jersey?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. Not in Manhattan or Brooklyn.
Is it because it's a New York thing?
Yeah, absolutely. Everything in New York is expensive. Maybe if you're lucky enough to get them when they go on sale to the general public. Because they sell out immediately, but sell out just means all the tickets are sold, not in
It doesn't mean there's an ass in every seat.
Exactly. That means that a fucking robot got on before you and bought up whatever the maximum amount of tickets is so that the resellers
scalpers.
Yeah. I mean, there have been some times where I've gotten tickets under the value, like drastically under the value. If you wait till like 2 hours before the show, people will drop prices sometimes, and I went to Survivor Series that way. I bought tickets if the show started at 8, I bought the tickets at 6.
That's awesome.
It went from $190 to $90. Like,
oh wow, were they good seats?
Yeah, second level, but the way Barclays is the seats are kind of theatrical style, so you're sitting at least a head above the head in front of you, and everything's at an angle, so you're looking down anyway. So the person that's in front of you is actually, their head is about a foot below your eye level, and then you have a straight look at the ring. So
right.
Yeah,
I said, like, if I ever go back to Raw, I'm getting floor seats because they're cheap. I looked at it one time, like, to go to when they have Raw in Philly, and like floor seats were like $90 a ticket.
That's unexpected. Holy shit. Here they have $400, $500 a ticket.
Yeah, I mean, granted, it was like all the way in the back, but still.
Problem with that, though, is if you're on the floor, everything is straight. So the further you are back, the less of the ring you actually see, especially with people standing.
Oh, totally. That's why, like, if I did it, I would try to get it at, like, an angle, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've done floor, like, I did floor seats with Mania, and I think I would have enjoyed it up on the second tier more. I spent more of the show watching it on the Tron because of the camera crew was on that side. And if I wasn't looking over the railing, I would just see the person behind me and a little bit of the ring. If you're sitting a little bit above it, you're llooking down at the ring. You see a hell of a lot more. That's why I love.
That's what happened to me at a
Ring
recent indie show, where guys, I think it was Smart Mark. Smart Mark was filming the show, and what happened was the show I went to. Are you familiar with Beyond Wrestling or no? Up in Massachusetts.
No.
Well, they have their style, they call it Beyond style, where they don't have seats, where it's just you all like kind of stand around the ring and then go backwards that way.
Okay.
Well, I got there to where I was literally right up on the ring, but the fucking Smart Mark guy kept like, I gotta film, and would keep like fucking getting in the way of me like trying to see the show.
Yeah.
So I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It was cool to see them come down the entrance, but then after that, it was like a lot of it I had to watch on the Tron. So,
Lance says Chicken Hat Mania.
yep.
I'll
That's so
never
fun.
forget that because with Triple H's entrance, the thing on YouTube where you're in the video.
Wait, what?
It's the video of the dude that was trying to take Triple H's entrance when he was coming out, and all you can see is your head in it.
Oh, when I found the other guy's fucking video, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that awkward moment when you find yourself in somebody else's YouTube video.
Man, that shit was hilarious.
I was like, oh shit, there's my head. And then I left a comment for the guy, and then he responded, but I forget what was said.
I kind of marked out when I was in Botchamania in the crowd.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Oh, see, you have to tell me these things, bro. Because
This is a while ago, and I like put it on Twitter. I was like, my life is now complete. I'm a celebrity. I was on Botchamania.
And you don't know which one.
Not off the top of my head, no.
You gotta go check YouTube later, and you gotta let me know.
Hell yeah, man.
Either that, or you're gonna have to sit there and watch them all until you find yourself.
Oh God, it's probably at least a year, I would say.
Well, that's a lot of Botchamania.
That's a lot of videos to watch.
Because that should definitely be a fucking, like, as seen in Botchamania, like, that should definitely be something that's screenshot, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to remember what show it was. I'll have to look it up. Cause someone messaged me and they're like, it was because I was with a friend of mine and he's like, bro, we're in the Botchamania video. I was like, no way. But anywho, what did you think of the Authors of Pain winning the tag belts? I thought that was like random as fuck.
Yeah, I'm not against it. I just thought it was kind of random for them. But then again, like, there's been nothing going on really with it for quite a while, other than Seth and Dean and Drew and
Ziggler.
Dolph. Yeah.
Because I was kind of hoping they would do like a Kevin Nash HBK thing when they broke up and like maybe have a tag title tournament, but I don't even think they have enough teams for it.
No. They may, but, you know, WWE doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
No.
Not with tag teams anymore.
No, that was one of my favorite parts back in the day when they had all the tag teams.
Things were just better back then when they had the tag teams. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was some of my favorite stuff as a kid growing up. But I agree with Lance. It was random, but he said at least it was something different.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with them with the belt. It was so random. But, you know, you needed to get the belt away from a single guy, like, from that storyline. It was just going to die on Seth, and you realistically can't have one guy beating tag teams. So I was okay with him losing it almost immediately.
Yeah, because you can't have like him being Super Cena, basically.
Yeah, no, I just want to see where they're gonna. I don't want them to overdo storylines anymore. Like I want to see what they're gonna do with him and Seth. Well, yeah. Sorry, I'm stuttering. Ambrose and Rollins.
Yeah.
I don't want them to overdo it though. I don't want it overbooked. I don't want something that lasts forever. You know what I mean? Totally,
because in my opinion, if it's booked correctly, it could be the feud of the year.
Yeah. But it also runs the risk of being like AJ and Nakamura.
Or Kevin and Sammy.
Yeah.
Because I like so far what they're doing where Dean's like not talking and just like attacking him and being like a crazy person, you know?
Yeah, but there's only so long you can do that.
No, I agree with that. I like what they're doing so far.
I wonder if they don't even know where they want to go with it.
I agree with you because it looks very I guess you would say skittish. Does that make sense?
Like they're reluctant to commit to anything.
Yeah, where it's almost like they're like, okay, we know these two guys are feuding. Well, we don't know what we want them to do till they actually get to the building, and then it's like, okay, well, you do this.
Yeah, I can see that. Like that they're booking weekly and not in the long term.
Yeah, I agree with yeah. I only think they're booking long term with certain people, and even that changes. I think.
Yeah.
We
No,
haven't talked about it because I had an adventure last week where I lost my voice like I do every year around this time about the greatness that was Crown Jewel.
I've started to come back around on it. Other than the Braun Strowman thing, like the whole Shane thing. I mean, it's a tournament that genuinely doesn't mean anything on a glorified house show.
I think it just rubbed people the wrong way.
Yeah, I mean, like, at least for me, it's like the more that time has gone on, the more I can accept it. I mean, it's a ridiculous tournament to begin with.
Totally. I mean, if you read even listen to PWI Insider, the only reason they hadn't named the World Cup is because Saudi Arabia did not win the World Cup tournament to host it.
Yeah, because Qatar got it.
Qatar did, one of their like mortal enemies.
Yeah, so I mean, it's
that
stupid
in itself
reason.
Is funny.
Yeah, and it's a stupid thing to call a World Cup when all 8 of those guys were
Americans.
Born. Yeah, that's not right. And it's not like bro, I came up with 16 people they could have had for a fucking tournament, all representing a legitimate different country.
And it would have been fantastic.
And a lot of them are guys that really could have used getting put on a global stage like that on a throwaway show.
I agree.
Somebody like Noam Dar for Scotland. If not Noam, then let Drew McIntyre. Fucking let Apollo Crews represent Nigeria because he's very proud to be Nigerian. Give him a chance to go out there and shine. I mean, like, you got the dude from Pakistan, Mustafa Ali.
Yeah,
like,
there's so many.
They have so many young, talented guys that could use getting out there on a global stage, at least to get eyes on them. And they dropped the ball on it.
I agree. The other thing, and I get why they did the match because the Saudis wanted it. But watching HBK wrestle, I was just like, can you please go back to being retired?
I think that's very unfair to say, though.
Yeah, no, and I don't mean that in like a mean-spirited way. I guess it's just because the way he went out, I thought was like the perfect way to go, and I never wanted to see him wrestle again. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I've heard a lot of people, and
because I don't want to like bash on him because it's not, like you said, it's not fair.
Here's why I say it's not fair. Within the first 5 minutes of the match, Triple H tears his pectoral muscle off the bone. Therefore, anything they had planned for the match is out the window at that point. Because
I
guarantee you, Triple H was the one who was going to work most of that match because he's been in the ring wrestling a lot more than Shawn Michaels. When Trips 5 minutes into how long was their segment?
Hang on.
30-something minutes?
I'll tell you exactly. Give me a second. I'll look it up on Wikipedia.
Yeah, as you're doing that, 5 minutes into that time, the guy who's more than probably going to be carrying the workload for that match tears his pec off his bone. Everything goes out the window. And now a guy who's upwards of 50 years old, hasn't wrestled in 7, 8 years, now has to be the workhorse for the team against two other 50-year-old guys.
Oh.
Because a lot of people want to keep... Go ahead.
I'm sorry, not to cut you off. It went 27 minutes and 45 seconds.
Okay, so say over 20 minutes of that, Shawn had to carry the workload of that because Triple H was seriously injured. And again, like I heard people saying, well, look at what Ricky Steamboat did. Yeah, Ricky Steamboat was in there with Chris Jericho.
Yeah, that's a big difference because Jericho at the time was in the prime of his career.
Yeah, could make a broomstick look amazing. And I'm sorry, even in their prime, Kane and Undertaker weren't known for pulling 5-star matches out of people. And now at 50-plus years old...
No, there's no way.
So, yeah, I mean, Triple H could have made it work.
No, I agree. He could have made it serviceable.
So, I don't know if this is a fair indicator of what Shawn is capable in a ring, because he was brought back in a tag match for a reason and ended up basically doing the workload of a singles match against two 50-year-olds.
That's very true. Did you
really don't work anywhere near what their rate used to be?
Oh, God, yeah. Did you see the moonsault he did where they were supposed to catch him outside?
Fucking Undertaker looked like he ran away? Yeah.
Oh, my God, where, like, I thought Shawn got a concussion where he just landed, like, flat, face first, right on the mat outside.
Yeah, I mean, and then if you look at his face, he wasn't happy with that either. So, I mean, like, I don't know if that was originally planned, but with Triple H down, I'm sure a lot of that shit just went out the window.
I agree with you, Lance. He said... Shawn being bald is so weird to see.
One in pants and one in tights.
Yeah. It's just so weird to me, like, to see him bald.
Oh, yeah, it's completely weird. It's really like seeing two Triple H's now, because I've gotten used to seeing Triple H bald.
Yeah, because now he's been that way for so long, you got used to it.
And seeing Shawn in there, it looked like two Triple H's in there at times.
Yeah. Did you see the photo Triple H took before his surgery? And
he was purple, yeah.
Where he looked like he had a giant ink blot on him.
Yeah, which, if anything, does more to, show that Shawn did a great job, because that's how injured Triple H was. I mean, like, his whole fucking pectoral into his arm was purple.
And his bicep, yeah.
So, I mean, it's... Shawn did a good job carrying something I guarantee you he wasn't supposed to work anywhere near that workload. Again, against two senior citizens for the wrestling world.
I agree.
So I think it's unfair to evaluate...
where he's at in the ring, yeah.
Because if he was going to come back for a one-off, it was probably going to be against Daniel Bryan. And again, that's not much different than going to work against Chris Jericho in his prime. So, I mean, like, that I could see being pulled off. So I think it's unfair for the people who are really shitting on Shawn, given all of these other factors.
Right. I don't want to say that I was necessarily shitting on him. It was just, I guess... from where you're used to seeing him the way he was, and then you see him now, you're like, oh, well, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I was just more disappointed that he got thrust into, like...
He was in a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, it's unfortunately, and I'm sure that put a damper on his desire to come back.
Yeah, I bet you he's not going to come back now.
I would be surprised. And if he does...
I saw an interview he did, and he was like, yeah, no more.
Well, I think that was immediately afterwards, if it's the one that I'm thinking of.
Maybe he just needs time to be, like, kind of take a breath. You know what I mean?
I mean, they can make money with him and Shawn, especially since they've already on air when Daniel Bryan was in the original NXT acknowledged that he trained at the Shawn Michaels Wrestling Academy.
Oh yeah, they could do that. They could do Styles and him, which I think would be fantastic.
Yeah, I think there's more of a story
No, I
between
agree
him and
with
Daniel
you.
Bryan.
Where it's student versus teacher.
Yeah, and I think he was his first. No, because there was Brian Kendrick, but I don't know which one came first.
Yeah, because his school opened in like '97.
Well,
I want to say.
I don't know who the first to graduate was. For some reason, I didn't think it was Spanky, but I'm pretty sure Spanky also went there.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Brian Kendrick started there. But
I know quite a. There's him and Kendrick, and then lesser known guys that I know on the indies that went there.
yeah, I'm talking about guys who actually made it like big though.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I know.
but yeah, I think they can really do it. Plus, I mean, Daniel Bryan is typically safe to work in the ring.
Yes.
Then again, so is AJ. AJ is really one of the best in the world. Period of the last 10 years, consistently.
Dean in the chat says, I hear HBK and Triple H are joining the. Hold on, I want to make sure I pronounce it right. The Turnbull AC gang from the Warriors.
I've never seen the Warriors, believe it or not.
Wow, yeah, I know who he's talking about. It's funny. When I saw their outfit to the ring, like the picture that's on the web, I was like, wow, they look like two of the Village People.
I will say though, I did like the fact that they're using the X in DX now for NXT.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
I really like that addition to the back, like the skull on their back, and Hunter had it as a patch on the front.
I really do like that.
That the X now stands for NXT. I really like that. Get away from DX, because I look at that and I was like, when were they ever DX until the last, until the end? Like they weren't they were part of DX, but there was no DX tag team. So that's why it kills me when they're like DX is tagging again. I'm like, but DX was never a tag team.
No,
it was the
they
New
were
Age
all
Outlaws.
like single guys that had their own feuds.
Like there was never the NWO tag team. It was the Wolfpack. I mean the Outsiders.
Yeah.
It was never the NWO.
Because like what you're saying, when it was Shawn in his world title feud, and then Trips in his feud with Owen Hart at the time.
Yeah, it was just like you never had a tag team called DX.
Yeah, I hate that when they do that.
I mean,
Lance just put in the chat. He says, "I'm so sad. No Triple H versus Batista now at Mania."
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against those matches though at Mania because it gets mainstream attention. It makes it feel like it's larger. I mean, and I don't know. I'm not in the group of people that hate seeing a Triple H match. He still puts on fantastic matches. I mean, like it's. I'm not in that pool of people who really gets upset with Hunter. I did kind of get upset that it was the main event of this past show, but I mean, the guy is now the hardest working guy in the company. Like he's responsible for NXT. I think he deserves it now.
And I think this would be Dave's last match, so I would somewhat be okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, like, if Dave is going to have one more match, it should be against either Triple H or Randy Orton.
Yeah, because those are his biggest rivals.
Yeah, I mean, it's think about, what was it, 32? When Daniel Bryan beat them both in the main event?
Oh, 30.
30, okay, 30. So they have that history of being in big matches, main events together. They've had one-on-one. I think that's a good story, or I think Hunter's a good story. But again, so long as it's given like 10, 15 minutes, I'm okay with that on a 6-hour fucking WrestleMania.
I was gonna say, especially with the whole thing with Batista up in the air to do Is it Guardians 3 or did they already finish it?
I don't think they started Guardians 3 yet, but yeah.
Where that's up in the air because he was upset about the one director getting let go.
But now they're keeping the script from that director.
Oh, are they?
That's what I read most recently, but
Okay.
yeah.
Because I know he was really upset about that.
Yeah. I'm not necessarily against that. Like, I wasn't against Snooki at WrestleMania.
You like the Jersey Shore, bro?
I actually do, but
I hate that.
it's mind-numbing television for me. I mean, it's I hate the people on it, but it's that and the Floribama show. That's my shit.
Maybe it's because like when I watch them, I'm like, when I was in Texas a couple years ago, I had people come up to me when they asked where I was from. I told them I was from New Jersey. Like, oh, do you know Snooki and the Jersey Shore? I'm like, no.
Well, I mean, that's how a lot of jerseys are looked at by the whole country anyway.
Oh, I know. It was just like, I guess it was just like, I'm like, this is not a true representation of the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't mind-numbing, quote-unquote, reality television. You know, it's mind-numbing stuff.
That's interesting. Dean is saying that Batista is up to play. I don't know how to say this name. It's Maecus Phoenix in the film version of Gears of War.
Huh. As of when?
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
Oh, Gears of War. Okay. I'm not really a big...
I'm sorry, Marcus Phoenix. He misspelled it. Marcus
Oh.
Phoenix in the film version of Gears of War.
I don't think I've ever played through Gears of War, but I know what the game is, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know...
I
Good for
think
these guys who
personally-
are making a fortune in Hollywood now and not having to kill their bodies.
Oh, I agree. Honestly, when I look at Dave now, I think he could play a good Kratos if they wanted to do a God of War movie.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of, you know, I mean,
Like he would look believable, I think.
I mean, yeah, I mean, and he doesn't have a lot of lines in Guardians, but he shows he has personality, which is, you know,
he could be
kind of
funny.
the key. Yeah, and I don't see him transitioning like The Rock into anything other than action, but I think he kind of positions himself to be more mainstream with what he gets going forward. I mean, anybody associated with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he's going to be paid for fucking years to come.
Speaking of which, I read this too, Lance, that there was a rumor that John Cena might be the new Captain America. I don't know if that's true, but I had recently did hear that.
I haven't heard that, but that's not to say that it's not going around, but that would really surprise me.
I know, and that's not a knock on John Cena. That would be very shocking to me. And not in a bad way, just I couldn't see him playing that character.
Oh, I could. That's the thing, though. I mean, like, he's about as Mr. America as you can get, especially with that new fucking hair. Are you kidding me? And apparently, I mean, but this would at least be 1 or 2 movies down the line because the current Captain America is signed on till following Avengers 4.
Yeah, this is his last one.
Yeah.
Like he just finished filming, finishing up filming for his last role. You know, whatever movie.
Huh.
So that would be interesting. I always figured they would have the guy that plays Bucky, because that's, if you read the comics, I don't know if most people read the comics, but in the comics, Bucky eventually becomes Captain America.
But they already have a Bucky. That's the guy who turns into... into the Winter Soldier, right?
Correct.
Yeah, he's already well established. Yeah, he's already a very well established character in the universe.
Yeah, Lance, it's a cool thing. Like you just said, it's crazy how you got wrestlers getting good roles like Rock and Batista now in Hollywood making, big time money.
I mean, John Cena's newest thing is he's, I believe, the lead villain in the Bumblebee movie.
Yes.
I mean, so he's definitely getting better movies than just WWE film movies.
Yeah, like 13 Rounds or, The Marine or.
And look, I mean, he's entertaining. I mean, like, I don't think there's anybody out there who's been a wrestling fan who, I mean, unless you really, really, really just hated, him as the rapper, not just because of his rapping, but like I thought he was so charismatic. Period. Like I think he'd be great as a Captain America.
Well, like if you see his characters, and in movies, like stuff that's not outside of WWE, like even Saturday Night Live, he's really funny.
Yeah. He's very, for somebody as big as he is, he's always willing to poke fun at himself, which I think is one of the reasons why Rock is so successful.
I was gonna say that's really rare to find guys that will make fun of themselves because they're usually very, like if they get made fun of, they're very sensitive about it. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know if you remember when Rock was on SNL, but there were times where they had him on in a dress, and coming from a very masculine wrestling world, the fact that, he was one of the first who went out there and just took any role, like, and just ran with it and did very well for himself. Like, a lot of people shit on the Tooth Fairy.
Hey, I'm not going to turn down Disney money, bro.
No, he got himself into Disney, and that got him other movies through Disney. So, I mean, like, he's laughing all the way to the bank.
Hell yeah, dude.
So,
I want to mention, before I forget, about the Braun Strowman stuff. It might explain why his match at Crown Jewel was so quick. Because apparently Braun is working hurt, and he has Meltzer reported it. So he's usually pretty good. That he has he basically blew out both of his knees.
see, but what I don't understand is wrestling is resting him for one match isn't really resting him. Like, so
Yeah.
See. Originally, I thought maybe it was so they could put the title on him without him having to take too many bumps so he doesn't get injured before he fights in the UFC. But now I'm believing it's very beginning of March is when DC is saying he expects to fight Lesnar.
Yeah, and the articles that I read was Lesnar signed a new deal, like a newer, re-upped, and it's for 2 matches.
Well, now it's coming out that there's a lot of details that haven't been released to the public, like that are secret. So now I don't think anybody knows how many matches there are.
Okay, because the thing before what I heard what you're saying was he was having one match with AJ at Survivor Series and then WrestleMania, and that was it.
Yeah, now I heard again, just people talking, so I don't believe any of this shit. And
of course.
But there could be chance that he works Rumble. But now apparently it looks like the person he may end up dropping the title to is Drew McIntyre. I think he's going to be the next Roman.
I would be okay with that.
Apparently that's what started this past Monday by having him beat Angle with the Angle Slam and then I believe the ankle lock. I mean, very rarely do you see somebody actually pin somebody with their own finisher nowadays.
Or make them submit with their own finisher.
Well, yeah, like win the match.
Yeah. No, I get you.
So apparently,
And
this may be like a harbinger of things that are to come.
yeah, and like I mentioned to you off air, Angle's only been beaten by submission, I think, 3 times in his entire career.
Yeah. So I mean,
That's
I
saying
that,
something.
yeah, but at this point, this is what I hate about Vince. At this point, they don't need to have him protected. So Vince don't give a fuck if all of a sudden Kurt starts tapping out. You know what I mean? It's
Totally.
I'm just kind of against shit like that. Like
Yeah,
yeah.
no. If he's been protected, protect him. Unless you're gonna have him get beat by a guy that you're like, hey, this is the next guy we're gonna put all our stock in.
Yeah, I still don't understand like why you'd have him lose to his own fucking like why you'd have him tap out.
I get you.
Especially since it's not like McIntyre is a submission guy to begin
A
with.
submission specialist or something. Yeah.
Funny story. Did you ever hear how he came up with the Claymore kick?
No.
There's a special table for 3 with 3-man band. I think it was table for 3.
Yeah.
He said originally, and they actually showed the clip from the match, he went to do a running big boot, but the leather pants they had was so tight that when he went to go throw the foot, the pants was so tight that the other leg came off the mat, and it was totally unintentional. He went to give a big boot with pants on that were too tight, and the other foot just came off the ground, and it turned into a flying kick.
That's funny.
And that was not his intention. He intended to hit the guy with just a running big boot, and it turned into the Claymore.
That's funny. That sounds like a very similar story to Jake the Snake with the DDT.
What do you mean? I don't think I heard this.
Jake said he had the guy in like a headlock, like you would for the DDT.
Yeah.
And had him in a headlock like you would know, and then you would go down. But he said he just had him in a headlock, and him and the other guy, they were like walking around in the ring, and they tripped on some like just the mat or whatever. And when they tripped, they went down, and he spiked him like a DDT. He said, and everybody went, "Ooh!" He's like, "Wait a minute, I got something here."
Yeah.
And that's how it all started.
Sometimes these things happen completely by accident, but that's such a pretty kick. But apparently Vince is very high on him again.
Yeah, well, I remember he really liked him before he put him in 3-man band.
He was the chosen one.
Oh, that's what it was. Thank you, Lance. The guy stepped on Jake's foot and they fell down.
Oh, okay.
I knew it was something like that.
Yeah, they must have been going backwards, and yeah, that makes sense then, because as he's going backwards, wow, yeah, that works. But the dumbest things, man, you never know.
Yeah, it might turn out to be like, something that everybody remembers.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else news-wise that I've heard the past 2 weeks. Just a whole bunch of nonsense with whether or not those guys from New Japan were going to sign. And like I told you off air, I don't think anybody's going to have, I don't think there's going to be any hints, any, a leak about this. Like, nobody's going to know but those guys. And all anybody's going to know is what they choose to put out. So any other rumors, I strongly advise you just disregard, because no one's going to know until it comes from them, because they're the ones who make their own decisions.
I'm sure you saw they have a countdown on their Twitter, the Bucks.
Yeah, and for all we know, that's going to lead to them re-signing with Ring of Honor. I mean, that's not out of the
whatever.
question.
If I had to guess, it's that they're going to re-sign, but they're going to do the non-exclusive deals where they could, work whoever they want, whenever they want.
Do you think any of those guys end up in WWE in 2019?
No.
Yeah, I don't know if I do either.
The only reason I say that, because people are like, oh, they're going to go. The only reason I say that, people don't realize, they say, oh, well, they're not making a lot of money compared to WWE. They have their shit selling in Hot Topic right now. I don't think you realize how much money they're getting from that.
Oh, they have said it that they make more money now on merchandise than they do wrestling.
Oh, I have no doubt. And then, especially, I bet with their final Bullet Club shirt that they just put out, I bet those things are selling like hotcakes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, it's people don't realize it. We're in an era now where it is extremely possible to earn a living outside of WWE. You know,
Oh,
where
totally.
WWE isn't necessarily the pinnacle for everyone. Maybe for some people.
But not for every. Well, the other thing I think that what's going to happen. I'm sure you've noticed this. Cody has taken the name and he calls it the Nightmare Family now.
Okay.
I think they're all gonna be under that one name at some point.
All as in who?
Cody, the Bucks, Kenny, Marty,
And Hangman.
and Hangman. I think that's what eventually is gonna happen.
Oh, possibly, but it's nice to. I mean, it's just. I find it so interesting how they just cut association with the Bullet Club, and that was it. It was never addressed on New Japan, really.
Yeah, it was just see ya.
But I think that's what makes New Japan so much different than WWE, because it's almost like being in the Bullet Club was a real thing.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
WWE doesn't have that air of.
Like, oh my God, this guy's in this group.
But it made it feel like the Bullet Club was a legitimate entity that people are actually a part of. Like, that there's a membership for, and that there's some gravity.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
Like, and once, like, the NWO is the last time I kind of really remember ever feeling that way, that it was like your membership meant something, that it was outside. You had Dennis Rodman. You know, I mean,
I had my NWO mug back in the day.
there you go. I was a Wolfpack guy. I like the red and black of the Wolfpack.
I'll never forget. I was 96. I was 13. I was over at my friend's house and we watched that when Hogan turned. It was like the most shocking thing I had ever seen in wrestling up to that point.
Yeah, the super of my building used to have free cable. So
that's what we did. We had the hot box.
Well, as the super, he would get, he had premium everything. All of the pay-per-views were unlocked, everything. So we would watch it there, and I remember vividly Hogan turning. There's a couple that I remember, like, that's where I was when Foley got thrown off the cell. That's where I was when Rock beat the shit out of Mankind with the chair in the I Quit match. I quit! I quit! I quit!
You're gonna laugh. My very first WCW pay-per-view I watched at my buddy's house with the hot box. It was the first Spring Stampede. 94 with Flair versus Steamboat. Right before Hogan came in.
I'll say WCW had some fucking amazing ideas for shows, like Spring Stampede being one of them at Spring Break, like a wrestling ring set up at Spring Break.
Yep, fantastic.
I think that is such a brilliant idea, but then again, that's when you're going for that demographic.
Totally.
You're not looking for kids and John Cena-esque fans at that point.
No, I agree.
And Hog Wild when they would go to
Sturgis.
Sturgis, yeah.
I remember watching a shoot interview. Nash said all the guys hated that show.
Oh, because it just smelled like exhaust. It was loud. It
And they
was
said like
dirty.
the dressing rooms were like nothing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, conceptually, you're talking about Sturgis.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's literally in the middle of nowhere. I mean, like they're getting changed in like trailers, like, but not even like good trailers.
No, like
Not
shitty ones.
and not something for guys who are 7 feet 300 pounds.
No, because it's in South Dakota, man.
So yeah, I mean, but no, I think conceptually they had some really good ideas. Where WWE wants to shove gimmick matches down our throats. I mean, WCW had their fair share of that too, but they had just good ideas for location for pay-per-views.
I always remember when you talk about good gimmick stuff was WCW Uncensored.
Now, what was the idea with Uncensored?
It was basically a night of all gimmick matches.
Okay, because I mean, like, I just don't remember what the actual like. I liked NWO Sold Out. Like, I really liked the first one when they really try to make it seem like the NWO was a completely separate company from WCW. Yeah. I think that stuff is absolutely genius. Like, and I think that's the kind of stuff that needs to happen. Like, I could see NXT coming up, taking over, and being like, "We're gonna have NXT Raw."
Yeah, the reason I bring up Uncensored, I always remember as a kid they had it was called the King of the Road match. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, Bunkhouse Bill and fucking Dustin Rhodes,
where they wrestled in the back of the pickup truck, the 18-wheeler.
I've heard that discussed on so many podcasts and interviews as the dumbest fucking idea for a wrestling match in history.
And they both got fired.
I mean, like, you have a match on the back of a fucking hay truck going 40 to 60 miles an hour down the highway. And what was the objective? Was to ring a bell?
No, it was like ring the the air horn or whatever for a truck.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was ring the bell on the back of the truck or yes, it was the but yeah, it was something like ring a bell or hit the air horn. It was not even a pinfall. It wasn't.
Yeah, no. It was so ridiculous, and because they bled. It was against Turner's practices, and they both got fired for it the next day.
But how quick did that practice end?
Yeah.
I mean, although I think WWE really was more blood heavy than WCW ever was.
Oh God, were they? I told you that first show I saw, Spring Stampede, was Bunkhouse Buck and Dustin Rhodes, and they both bled like pigs.
Yeah, I think the first WCW I saw was like one of their worldwide shows when it was filmed at one of those places that definitely looked like a soundstage.
Oh, the MGM.
I guess that's where it was, but it looked like they were walking out of that futuristic portal.
Yeah. It was at Disney.
Yeah, that's one of my earliest memories, and that's the day we got cable. I remember turning on and seeing Ric Flair cut a promo, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I was a kid, I was young, but I was hooked already.
Yeah, I didn't see WCW till about religiously watch to about 94. I would see it, here and there, but not watch all the time till like 93, 94.
I didn't watch WWE during most of their in your house phase.
Yeah, I remember you had mentioned that.
That's when I was watching WCW and the rise of the NWO and stuff like that. And they're beginning to do it with McMahon and Austin on the network. I don't know if you've seen that, but they're beginning to put every segment down on shows. Like I watched a 2-hour block, and that was one episode of the McMahon versus Austin thing, and it
holy
was
shit.
The promos, everything that happened in sequential order, and this was right before the invasion. It was like the invasion kind of thing, like
Yeah, so
where
it was like 2000.
2001 was the invasion.
Okay.
But like when they're both competing for hugs in the ring,
Yeah.
and then they're playing fucking guitar in the back, and Kurt has the little cowboy hat.
Yeah, that looks like my son should wear it.
Yeah, yippee-ki-yay, cowboy.
Man, that
Well,
shit was so
yippee-ki-yay,
good.
I feel like a real cowboy.
All right, before we get out of here for tonight, what do you got? What are you up to this weekend?
Nothing. More Red Dead Redemption. Trying to get
You
closer
sound like
to...
Lance.
Well, I was happening to talk to Lance, and I told him I want to get as close to 100%.
Yeah, he told me this the other day.
And Lance, just to let you know, like I'm beginning to put some real work into getting all those perfect pelts to the trapper to make all of those sets. So I don't know, it's gonna take me a little bit, but I think I'm gonna do it. I actually I'm gonna try to get more of the there's 144 cigarette cards in the game to collect. It's 12 sets of 12.
Phew.
Yeah, bro, some of them are like literally in the middle of nowhere, like here, right up to the top of this fucking mountain, and then get attacked by a grizzly bear, and once you survive that, it's on a shelf. And it's like, what?
That's nuts.
Yeah, but I've it's one of those games that there's just so much, like you could never get a strategy guide to find everything because it's just random stuff that happens. So I found so much cool shit, and the fact that I don't need to worry about money just makes it so much better. I can just enjoy it and not have to worry about like, oh shit, I can't afford things.
He said you're crazy. Good luck, dude.
Well, I'm a completionist, and a game like this gives me the opportunity to do a lot of it. Like I'm going to like Uncharted, I always 100%. Me and you talked about the Lego games. No matter how much there is to do, I want to try to 100% it.
Man, those Lego games piss me off trying to get to 100%.
Bro, some of these are going to kill me because it's like you'll see like birds flying overhead, and it's like there may be like different species of birds like that you're looking at, and you got to see them all. So it's like sometimes you got to find like toads, and they're so tiny, and I don't know, it's just there's some
Random shit.
Yeah, there's just so much in the game that I haven't even gotten to yet, you know, because I'm really taking my time opening up stuff. But I don't know, I like finding rare stuff. I like finding stuff like that. Like, so for me, the whole game is like a big scavenger hunt.
It does. He put, if anyone can, I'm sure you will.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to guarantee to get all the collectibles. I don't know if I'm going to have it in me to get every single pelt for every single piece of clothing that I will never wear. But I'm going to at least get everything else I have to get.
All right, well, that sounds interesting. I am, let's see, tomorrow's Friday. So I will be at Pro Wrestling After Dark, their debut show, which is about 15-20 minutes from my house, so that's not too bad, in the next town over. Saturday, I think I'm doing CZW. Sundays, just relaxing and watching football.
There you go.
Even though I got to wait all day for my team to play.
Yeah, but you got to beat John this weekend, man. I need some more cushion. I need some room. I don't know if you know how shitty I'm doing in the other league. I'm 2-7 in the league that we've been in since like 2011, and I'm 7-2 in our league. But John is 7-2, and I only have it on points right now. And I know John and I are going to end up facing each other in the finals because somehow we've never faced each other all season, and we're not going to. So our chance is going to be at the finals, and I'd like to be. I don't know.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I can't lose to John Morgan. I can't fucking lose to John Morgan in the finals, and that's what I see happening.
Oh, I'll see what I can do.
All right.
But on that note, we're going to get out of here for tonight. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff, and we'll see you back next time. Have a good night, everybody.
Adios.